Not a day can go by without more information coming out about Hunter Biden. And yeah, we got some more damning information this time from Hunter Biden about the big guy, Joe Biden himself. Leaked audio reveals Hunter Biden's involvement with a spy chief of China. A new audio recording obtained by National Pulse reveals that Hunter Biden had business involvement with a man he claimed to be the spy chief of China, and his frustrations, both he and his father being named as witnesses in a criminal case. The spy chief Hunter referencing is Patrick Ho, the former Hong Kong Secretary of Home Affairs, who was convicted of bribery and money laundering charges in 2018. He was deported to Hong Kong after spending a brief period in jail in New York City. Ho has been a lobbyist on behalf of, you guessed it, the CEFC China Energy since 2007. That exact same corporation that Hunter Biden was dealing with, that we know all too well at this point. Biden also references the disappearance of Yi Jianming, the founder of CEFC, who has been detained in China since 2018 on charges of bribery. Despite mainstream media claims, there's no evidence that Hunter Biden was involved in questionable deals in China. Biden describes the man as his partner. My partner, who is worth $323 billion, is now missing, Biden lamented. Well, actually, I've got the tapes. And we're going to play them for you because I'm a good guy, remember? Anyways, first things first though, I need to clear up who is Patrick Ho. Hong Kong businessman ends prison sentence in bribery scheme. So this is according to the AP and was released June 9th, 2020. A prominent Hong Kong businessman has been freed after serving his 3-year prison sentence for what prosecutors say were bribes paid to the president of 2 African countries. Dr. Chi Ping Patrick Ho, 70, was giving leniency at sentencing last year by U.S. District Judge Loretta A. Preska from the very corrupt Southern New York District. I got that pulled up here. Yeah, the proper name, the Southern District of New York. They have a very, very, very checkered past, but that is, of course, another story for another day. Ho left the MCC in Manhattan on Monday and was deported to Hong Kong, according to the terms outlined at sentencing. The Bureau of Prisons confirmed his release. Ho was convicted in December 2018 of paying bribes to the president of Chad and Uganda in a scheme to secure oil rights for an energy conglomerate known as CEFC China Energy. So, not only do we have business dealings in China with CEFC, and we have other nefarious business dealings in Ukraine in regards to Hunter Biden, I wonder how much he knew about these Chad and Ugandan business dealings as well. I will not be surprised if those come out as well. I just wanted to let you guys know that was some of the information that I found here. So just put Chad and Uganda on the back burner because they were, prior to the COVID epidemic happening, some of the fastest growing economies. Most of the fastest growing economies in the world are brought to you in part by capitalism. Well, not even in part, they are brought to you exclusively by capitalism, and they all resided in sub-Saharan Africa. And once we get over the coof here, things will return back to normal. But like I said, I promised that we were going to be getting into the audio itself. So here we go. Without further ado, I will let her play.
I get calls from my father to tell me that the New York Times is calling, but my old partner Eric, who literally has done me harm for I don't know how long, is
just a little bit of a tease there. So the Eric that he's referencing is Eric Hirschman, one of the White House lawyers who previously defended President Trump during his impeachment over the Ukraine affair because, he may or may not have extensive knowledge into what's happening in Ukraine, but I digress, of course. Was also part of a select group of presidential allies that attempted to get the Wall Street Journal to publish a story they hoped would be critically damaging to the president's campaign of Joe Biden. The New York Times reported on Sunday, and of course New York Times right now is running absolute damage control for the Biden family, so it totally makes sense that even going back to the impeachment earlier this year, they were still running cover for him, because I think it'll come out that they were all working together in a lot more formal sense, not these lines that we can draw between all parties involved. Anyways, Eric Hirschman, a former private practice attorney at a Trump law firm. Oh no, that means he's evil and corrupt, obviously. I digress. Currently holds the title of Senior Advisor to the President. He and two other men with close ties to the administration, Arthur Schwartz and Stefan Passatino, reportedly met with Wall Street Journal reporter Michael Bender earlier this month, providing Bender with documents purportedly linking the former vice president to his son's foreign business dealings in China. Now, because this guy was friends, quote unquote, with Hunter Biden, this is telling me more and more that all of these business dealings weren't exclusive to that laptop, even though I think normal, regular people could kind of surmise that at this point. He was very fast and loose with the facts. Hunter is, well, you know, crackheads don't exactly tend to be the most reliable sources of information or somebody that you can rely on to keep a secret for you. So that kind of plays into the fact that this is much more of a public scandal than what we know right now, considering nobody's really reporting on it outside of the New York Post, the Wall Street Journal, who Joe Biden said in a very rare media availability session that not even the New York or that the Wall Street Journal would report on it, even though they have, and I've cited them in a couple of my videos at this point. Thanks, Joe. You really are the gift that keeps on giving. But I'll go ahead and rewind that a little bit, and then we'll listen to the rest of this. How about that? How about I'll shut up for a second and y'all can listen.
Partner Eric, who literally has done me harm for I don't know how long, is the one taking the calls because my father will not stop sending the calls to Eric. I have another New York Times reporter calling about my representation of literally, Dr. Patrick Coe, the fucking spy chief of China.
The spy chief of China. That is Patrick Ho he's talking about, that guy who we just went over with earlier.
Who started the company that my partner, who was worth $323 billion, founded. It is now missing.
Yeah, Mr.
The
Yi.
richest man in the world is missing. Who was my partner? He was missing since I last saw him in his $58 million apartment and signed a $4 billion deal to build the fucking largest fucking LNG port in the world. And I am receiving calls from the Southern District of New York, from the U.S. Attorney himself. My best friend in business, Devin, has named me as a witness without telling me.
That's Devin Parker, by the way.
In a criminal case, and my father, without telling me.
So that's just a little excerpt. There is apparently 5 hours of this horseshit out there, and that is some of the juiciest parts. We don't quite know where it came from, but this just dropped earlier from Steve Bannon, who also had access to the laptop, the original laptop, before it got turned over to the FBI. So yeah, man, it's getting spicy. And before I was going to do this, I was going to shelve this for a day because I also seen that Tucker Carlson was going to be interviewing Mr. Tony Bobulinski here. And, well, before I started to do a little bit rejiggering, take a look what's happening. Tony Bobulinski tells Tucker Joe Biden's denials of involvement in son's business a blatant lie. Well then, we got the scoops here, folks. Tony Bobulinski, a former business associate of Hunter Biden, will tell Tucker Carlson tonight in an exclusive Tuesday evening that Joe Biden's denials of knowledge or involvement in his son's foreign dealings are a blatant lie. Bobulinski, as we know, former head of Sinahawk Holdings, which was named after the Biden family, of course. So in that debate, he made a specific statement around questions around this from the president. Recalled Bobulinski, who attended the debate as Trump's guest, which is still just the funniest fucking shit ever. And I'll be honest with you, I almost stood up and screamed liar and walked out because I was shocked that after 4 or 5 days that they prepped for this, that the Biden family is taking that position to the world. Text message obtained by Fox News last week included an exchange between Bobulinski and James Biden, the Democratic nominee's younger brother, who is a expert builder in the country of Iraq, apparently, in which Bobulinski asked James to thank Joe for his time. The message seems to indicate that a meeting took place, though it's unclear what the substance of the meeting may have been. I think we can surmise at this point. The messages are unrelated to the laptop or hard drive purportedly belonging to Hunter Biden, the former vice president's son. It probably has something to do with the 3 smartphones that Bobulinski had in his little press conference prior to the presidential debate. So I suppose tune in tonight to Tucker Carlson to figure out exactly what the fuck is going on. But if he's going to spill the rest of the beans and some more information's coming out from Steve Bannon and Rudy Giuliani, yeah, we're going to have something fucking spicy here tomorrow, I suppose. But yeah, that's what we know so far. So Patrick Ho, one of the former heads of CEFC China, had a bunch of dealings in Africa as well. We don't know if Hunter's involved with those, but it's fair to say that there's something going on there. And Joe Biden was in constant contact with the New York Times regarding these dealings, straight from the mouth of a crackhead. So you might have to take that with a rock of salt. But that's what we know today. And I think tonight here for the initiated, expect something in the realm of truth and not just a he said, she said situation, because as a former Navy man, he knows to get his ducks in a row. But I thank you very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you guys to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.